Please welcome Chairman and CEO of Salesforce.com, Marc Benioff.
This is the best one yet.
Woo!
And
Good
I'm
morning,
so
Dreamforce.
happy. How could we ever forget? This is the
Whoa,
best
good morning, Dreamforce. All right, well, that was a late night. What time is it? Well, it was an incredible day. And let me just tell you, it's because of you. You made it. You were 100% there. You were present. You made it happen. You stayed with us through the whole program. You received the message. You got it. And wow, I've never seen a group of people party so hard last night. You're unbelievable. Congratulations. Give yourselves a round of applause. Stevie Wonder. Was he unbelievable? Stevie. He's a legend. Now you get, the energy in here was incredible. And Will.i.am, isn't he amazing too? I mean, what a gift. He's such a young guy. He's got a huge future. It's incredible. There's a conversation between Stevie and Will last night, and it was like a father-son relationship. It was awesome. Anyway, reminded me a lot of the conversations I used to have with Larry Ellison. Look, it was an awesome day, you know. Just, I think, the very best Dreamforce day we have ever had. And look, I need to tell you something. I just need to be completely straight with you. I need to kind of just open up and tell you something that's going on with me and with the company that you need to know about. We just need to have just a very personal conversation. Not everybody wants us to have this fun. There are forces out there that are trying to stop us. They're trying to stop us. They don't want us dancing to Stevie Wonder. These forces, they don't want us dancing to Will.i.am and singing his little Own It song, you know? I'm gonna own it, No, they do not want it. They're trying to they heard about my socks, okay? They're trying to stop the socks. These are the forces that are out there that we need to be aware of because, you know, we're transforming an industry here. And when you transform an industry and you're trying to create a new industry, well, there's an old industry. And that old industry is trying to do everything they can. You know, we have a motto in our industry, the FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. They're trying to do everything they can to stop this. Now, there's one company in particular who's really gone all out, especially in the last year, because they're nervous, because they've had a control on our industry since 1977 when they started. They have had a kind of an evil empire type focus on our industry. And you know who I'm talking about in the Northwest. With their Windows operating systems, with their constant upgrades with no new features. When the newest feature is a bug fix and you still have to pay the $50, it's amazing. And they want their $50. They do not want us going into the cloud with our automatic upgrades without a charge, new features. They're trying to stop chatter. They're trying to stop the sales cloud. I mean, they're out there. You know, this year, Microsoft sued us. They sued us, try to stop us. Amazing. They sued us. We had to hire the guy who had beaten them before, David Boies, to win again. Amazing. They tried it, they lost. We prevailed, we succeeded, and then again, they started to show up at our events, protesting us. Stop that cloud! Stop that cloud, I tell you! You don't want the cloud. Don't forget that software that you grew up with. Don't you love software? Isn't software really what it's all about? Wow, it was shocking when yesterday the protest turned violent and they hired these Segway drivers to run over our attendees as they're trying to get in to the conference. Attendees kind of having to, move aside from the Segways. Fortunately, no one was hurt. A few narrowly missed, telling them, don't get forced. Do not get forced, please. But we know about this company. We know who they are. It's interesting. I was reading one of my favorite magazines, The Economist, also a Salesforce customer, and I saw this ad. It says, I didn't get forced. I did not get forced. And I'm like, whoa, this is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. The guy is on the Segways. He's getting forced. He's in this ad. He's getting forced. I'm like, who is this guy? I mean, I have to tell you, one of the most and best conversations I've ever had is with Andy Grove. Do you remember Andy Grove, who was with Intel? One of the great leaders of our industry, one of the very best. One of the very, very best. And he said to me, you know what, Mark? Only the paranoid survive. When you start your company, you need to always be thinking about what could go wrong. Don't take any customer for granted. You have 100,000 customers. Don't take a customer for granted. So when I got my Economist and I was reading this magazine, and I read about this customer, and I'm like, this customer felt like they got forced. Oh boy. I didn't really know what to do about it, I mean, we don't have that many unhappy customers. Of course it happens. Of course it happens. Happens to everybody. I'm sure everyone in this room has had an unhappy customer, right? Sure, but we got to turn them around. We got to bring them back. That's the only way. Because when you see this customer everywhere all of a sudden, I mean, it's amazing. Getting forced. Look, will you work with me to get the customer back? Will you? Will you work with me to get them back? Don't they deserve this great energy? Don't they deserve the power of all of you working together to be successful? I mean, we can make this customer a success again. So, look, I'm going to need all of your help to do it. I'm going to need everybody here. This is not a joke. This is very, very, very serious. Because only through the collective willpower of all of the Salesforce nation can we do it as one. Will you do it with me? Will you do it with me? Will you do it with me? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome this customer, Bernard. Bernard, come on out. Uh-oh. Bernard, I'm so sorry. I am sorry that we forced you. And on behalf of myself personally, on behalf of my company, my shareholders, my board of directors who are in the front row, Sandy and Larry, on behalf of all of us and the whole Salesforce community, we want to apologize to you. And Bernard, look, we don't want you to go back to software. We were there too. We know what it's like. The constant upgrades and the updates and the never changing, prices and the waiting for the new features, you know, and look, we're having a lot of fun here at this conference. You know, we had Stevie Wonder last night, could have been here. We had Will.i.am rocking everybody. You could come back with us. You know, we want you back. Don't we want Bernard back? I mean, Bernard, you could rejoin the force. Look, I mean, you see him so unhappy in these ads. I mean, you see him just very unhappy. And we want you to be a happy, successful person like all of us. We want you to join Dreamforce. We want you to participate in all the events. And, you know, we don't want you to go back to the evil empire. You know, I mean, we've had enough of them. That's why we're all here. We're getting away from them. So, look, everyone, will you encourage me? Can we get Bernard back? Can we get Bernard back? I mean, really, come on, everybody. Let's get Bernard back. Come on, Bernard. We got to transform him with everybody's energy. Come on. Bernard. Come on, Bernard. Come on, everybody, stand up and let's get Bernard back. Stand up. Come on, stand up. Let's get done with Microsoft. Let's get Bernard back to Salesforce. Stand up. Come on, Bernard. Please look at all these. You got 15,000 people here. Please. Look at what they've done to you. Bernard, you've got to change. You've got to go back to who you were before they got you. Will you do it?
Yes.
All right. Woo! Let's celebrate.
This is the best
one.
one yet.
Woo!
And I'm so happy. How could we ever forget? This is the best one.
All right, Bernard.
This is the best one. This is the best one
Great to see you. Woo! Please thank Bernard.
happy. How could we ever forget? This is the
Oh, boy. These sales take a lot of energy. But look, when you're fighting Microsoft, you got to do everything you can, and, well, glad Bernard's back. Okay. Let me tell you why I love living in San Francisco, California. I love living in San Francisco, California because of all the diversity we have. It's amazing. I mean, it's really spectacular what's going on here in San Francisco. You're experiencing the city. I'm a fourth-generation San Franciscan. I love it here. It's incredible. And I know we have a lot of people here. We've got we've got Dean Ornish here in the front row, my diet doctor. Dean, still working on my stomach. Got Larry and Sandy here from the board. Fantastic. Ulysses. You know, Parker's here. Parker. Carly's here, wrote the books. Carly, how are you? Bruce is here, does all our PR. How are you? You know, I love San Francisco. And one of the things that I love about San Francisco, right, Frank, is I love the University of California, San Francisco. Now, that's a big statement from somebody who went to USC and who's a Trojan fan, like everyone in the room is. But the great thing about UCSF is it's a very unusual university that's dedicated entirely to science. That's an amazing thing. They don't have an undergrad program. They don't have fraternities and sororities, you know, like when Tim and I over there were in college together. That's not really what UCSF is about. UCSF is about advancing health worldwide. And it's amazing, UCSF. They've got 3 Nobel Prize winners. They've got 33 members of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, 17 members of the Howard Hughes Institute, 71 members of the Institute of Medicine, 22,000 employees here in San Francisco. They're the second largest employer. They've got really interesting patents. They were the first to identify the SARS virus, and they're trying to really change the world, make it better through science, through biotechnology. And this is an incredible thing. And what's unique about UCSF and what I love about it is it's not just a tremendous research institution, but the University of California, San Francisco is also a tremendous medical school. And it's also a practicing hospital. It's these three things together that really make the difference, Jeff. That is one of the key things. Rich, good to see you. One of the key things is that UCSF is able to bring that triad together: research, medical school, and practicing hospital, and it's amazing. That's why it was so easy for me, really under the mentorship of my board member here, Sandy Robertson, who introduced me to them, and his lovely wife, Jean. That, you know, Sandy really said, Mark, you should be looking more at UCSF. And as we look to do more charity and more giving, that's why it was very easy for me to give them, with my wife, $100 million this year to build a new children's hospital right here in San Francisco. Thank you. And we need a new children's hospital. There's more requirements for children's beds than ever before. We can do more to heal children and help them. But we need new hospitals because the kind of things that we do in hospitals today are very, very different. The treatment of chronic diseases. Isn't that right, Dean? Dean's a professor at UCSF. And building this children's hospital at Mission Bay has really been one of the most exciting things I've really been associated with. I mean, we're planning out the hospital now. We want to make it just a tremendous breakthrough and make it the best children's hospital in the world. But the reason I'm telling you this is actually because right here at Dreamforce, I want to introduce you to the University of California, San Francisco. I want you to have a relationship with them just like I do. And that's really why I've invited some of their leaders to participate today, and we're calling this today UCSF Day at Dreamforce. So today, of course, we're going to have our panels on all of our cloud computing and all of our, business transformation, but we thought we'd invite some scientists from another discipline over to talk to us. And we've got some great people. First of all, we've got Mark Laird, who's the CEO of the UCSF Medical Center, speaking on the future of healthcare. Robert Lustig, if you haven't seen his video on YouTube called Sugar, the Bitter Truth, something that really impacted me, changed my life, as Dean will tell you. I mean, he's a professor of pediatrics in the Division of Endocrinology at UCSF, and he really talks about how we have to get sugar out of our diets, especially high fructose corn syrup. Very, very powerful research going on at UCSF around that. We also have Bruce Miller here. He's a professor of neurology and psychiatry. Maybe I should book an appointment, actually. Unveiling the mysteries of the mind, memory, and aging. And then UCSF at Mission Bay, which is this tremendous new college campus. I should just tell you, UCSF, and we're going to talk about this in a second, is building the only new college campus in the United States currently. It's a $5 billion development. That's where the new children's hospital is going. Well, Anthony Luke and Thomas Vale are probably two of the best orthopedics experts in the world. Thomas Vale is the chair of orthopedics at UCSF. He's the chairman of the Department of Orthopedic Surgery. He's a unspectacular surgeon. And then Anthony Luke runs probably the top human performance lab in the world. And they're based out of a brand new building at Mission Bay called the Orthopedics Institute. Anthony Luke is amazing. He has his MD from the University of Toronto and his master's in public health from Harvard. And then we have Diana Farmer here. And Diana Farmer is just incredible. She's a professor of clinical surgery and pediatrics and obstetrics at UCSF, talking about healing patients before birth, something that UCSF pioneered. In fact, UCSF created in its children's hospital right here in San Francisco fetal surgery. And if you don't know what fetal surgery here is, it was invented by a UCSF professor named Michael Harrison. It's if the fetus is in jeopardy or needs some kind of treatment before birth, UCSF invented a way to be able to open the amniotic sac, remove the fetus from the sac, operate on the fetus, and put it back into place and seal the sac. Pretty awesome science, wouldn't you say? invented right here in San Francisco by UCSF. And then UCSF is also building the new East-West methodologies on how to bring in Eastern thought and Western thought, how to reduce stress, and how to do what we call integrative medicine, but do it from the point of view of real clinical practice. And Margaret Chesney is here as a professor in integrative medicine. So we know that you're here to do a lot of important sessions. We know that there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of professional development, but we thought we'd give you an opportunity to meet some of these world-class scientists and to check in with the University of California, San Francisco. Now, I have to tell you that we have another connection between all of us and UCSF, because an incredible person who's been associated with Salesforce.com, Sue Desmond-Hellman. Sue is the, well, you probably remember, she was the president of Genentech, probably the most successful biotech company in the history of the world. And it was recently bought by Roche. And so she was looking for a new job. She already was a medical doctor and a professor at UCSF. And we were very, very lucky to have Sue Desmond-Hellman, who is the chancellor of UCSF, here at Dreamforce. Please welcome her. Sue, come on out.
This is the best one yet.
Let's celebrate, let's celebrate.
Do I have to dance?
You have to dance, Sue. Welcome, Sue.
Thank you.
Welcome to Dreamforce. We're so thrilled to have you, and we're so thrilled to have the relationship with UCSF, as you know. I mean, we're really honored and humbled. And we're going to be your neighbor.
We're welcome to the neighborhood.
Thank
We're
you.
excited that you're going to be there.
Yeah, we're really excited. And look, we've got all these great Salesforce customers here. There's about 15,000 people in the room this morning. They had a late night, so I don't know how much science they can take. But here's the thing. I thought that what we should do is talk to them about the UCSF investment in Mission Bay, because you're doing something extraordinary. You're building a brand new college campus with state-of-the-art buildings and technology, and you're inventing science, training scientists, you're healing people right on site in your hospital. Can you tell everyone a little about UCSF and what's going on at Mission Bay?
Yeah, I'd be glad to. I think you already heard from Mark that we don't have any English majors or football teams or fraternities, but what we do have at Mission Bay right now is over 1 million square feet of labs. So the best science in the world is happening right down the street from here.
About a mile from here.
About a mile, Nobel Prize winning science. So today you could go anywhere at Mission Bay, walk into a lab, and see the best and the brightest, all the way from graduate students to professors. And that's about $1.3 billion worth of investment we've already put in Mission Bay. So if you walked there in 2003, it was dirt, abandoned railroad yards, nothing. And now we're creating $6.2 billion worth of value for Northern California, but way more important, Nobel Prize winning science.
Wow, that's absolutely incredible. You know, Sue, we have some great photos and renderings of Mission Bay up there. You can see on the edge, on the bay, where those 4 or 5 buildings on the bay is where Salesforce's campus is going to be. And then really everything behind Salesforce's campus is UCSF Mission Bay, and that red building back there, which we can see on the top right photo, is your Rudder Community Center.
Right.
And Bill Rudder, who's the founder of Chiron, I think, wasn't he associated with Mission Bay and UCSF?
Bill Rudder was a professor of biochemistry at UCSF and founded Chiron, one of the earliest biotech companies. And that relationship between UCSF and innovation and the high-tech and biotech community here has been there for more than 25 years. But here's the thing that's so special about Mission Bay. It's not just science. It's not just labs and test tubes and all of us running around thinking about publishing papers. What the new hospital means, by 2014, we're going to bring together that great science, that innovation, that technology, and the patients will be there. So we'll have the UCSF Benioff Children's Hospital, we'll have a women's specialty hospital, and a cancer hospital. So when the science breakthroughs happen, we'll rush them so that they help patients.
Now, Sue, no one has been more involved in cancer and in treating cancer than you have. You pioneered the drug Avastin at Genentech. I remember that. It's been a breakthrough for cancer patients all over the world. Can you give us some insight? What's coming next? What are you excited about every day when you look at all the great things that are happening, at UCSF?
Well, here's the thing that I'm most excited about. When I did my cancer training at UCSF in the 80s, we learned about cancer as a disease based on anatomy. Where in the body? You hear your friends have lung cancer, breast cancer, colon cancer. Today, that's old school. So today, if you had cancer, you would hear, here's what's driving your cancer. Here's the science behind it. And you wouldn't get just any medicine. Makes your hair fall out, makes you sick. You would get the precise remedy for that particular cancer and that particular patient. So what I'm excited about is we're completely transforming the personalized or individualized care for cancer patients, and it means they get the right therapy, and if they don't need something that'll make them sick, we avoid that.
That's amazing. And so is there an intersection there with all of the work that's been happening in genomics over the last decade?
So it's exactly how we tell that. We basically look at the genomics, the zip code of the cancer, and so we target the therapy, we make the remedy precisely for that tumor at that time. And that is completely transforming how we think about cancer care. And what's going to happen at Mission Bay is we'll bring over coffee, maybe talking together, walking from the shuttle bus, right there in one location, the scientists and the clinicians together. It's really transformative.
Well, that's amazing. Well, I really wanted to give everyone here an introduction to you personally and Mission Bay. I just love Mission Bay, and I guess this is also a great time to tell them that tonight we also have a benefit concert for UCSF,
Right.
for Mission Bay, where Neil Young is performing for us. And we also still have some tickets available right here at the show.
There's a few tickets left,
Yeah,
not
very
many.
exciting.
But we're really excited about the benefit concert that's tonight. We've already raised more than $375 million for our hospital project. It's a $1.5 billion project in this economy. And we're
amazing.
excited that the regents have given us the go-ahead. We've broken ground, and we'll have a brand new hospital in San Francisco by 2014,
Well, Sue,
right there at Mission Bay.
I'm happy to tell you that because of the hard work of everybody here, we're going to be able to give you another $3 million tonight, because that's how much
Wow.
we raised with the
Wow,
benefit
thank
concert.
you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank all of you.
I also want to call out, Sue, because something amazing has happened this week, as you know. The game company Zynga,
Right.
they make Farmville. And they added a product in their game called candy canes that their customers can buy and plant as crops. And they can grow candy cane crops as part of Farmville, which is kind of this social game that runs on Facebook. And their customers, in the last 3 days since they turned on the candy cane crops, 100% of the benefits go to UCSF. They've raised $784,000 for you, and 145,000 people have bought these candy cane crops and are planting them in their
Amazing.
Zynga Farmville games.
That's
Pretty cool.
fantastic.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. So, Mark, what I'm really excited about is not only has Zynga done something enormously special and innovative in terms of reaching people through their social network and Farmville, but now 145,000 people who didn't know about something so special, the UCSF Benioff Children's Hospital, have been introduced to what we do. It's that power of connecting people that folks like you know way more about than we do.
Well, it's very exciting, and as you know, it's part of the UCSF Challenge for the Children, which is a program that we've been running with causes.com, where we have 40 teams actually trying to raise the most money, and it turns out even one of the leaders currently is actually a former UCSF patient, which is very exciting.
That's right. I think that what this shows is how different people want to access their information and learning about the hospital. So it may be because you're tremendously inspired by a young boy whose life was saved at UCSF, or it may be that you're planting candy canes and talking about it with your friends. And it's all good. It's all an introduction to the innovation and what we're doing for patients.
Well, Sue, thanks so much for being here and bringing
Thanks a lot.
UCSF to Dreamforce.
Welcome to
Please
San
thank Sue
Francisco.
Desmond-Hellman.
Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you, Sue. Great to see you. Isn't she great? We are so fortunate to have Sue Desmond-Hellman as the head of UCSF, one of the really great leaders of the biotech industry.